If you're bleeding time and money on that aspect of your business, it's a really good opportunity to reduce the liability there.
I want to ask you first, but then I want to ask anyone that's listening the same question so we can talk about it in a future episode, because I feel like it keeps coming up. But Tyler, when you think about AI and what it's doing or not doing, or you wish it did for your business, what is your take on it? And before you answer, it is something that comes up constantly in my DMs. Anytime I mention it, it's like, I want to understand how you're using it. For me, all of my free time, like my hobby that we talk about that I don't have right now is learning everything I can about AI and how to leverage it, not even just in my business, but in everything. And in a future episode, I will tell you how AI helped me figure out how to get my daughter to go to sleep, but we'll come back to that.
For me, my entire model and my entire business, it revolves around two things. It revolves around offering a higher level product and service and then creating efficiencies within that, right? I can only put so much work in place. So how do I ensure that I'm maximizing my profitability? It's leveraging product and experience to charge a higher rate, so I don't have to do as much work, and then creating efficiencies within that again, so I don't have to do as much work. So it's not necessarily about increasing top line revenue as much as maintaining top line revenue and then increasing bottom line revenue through efficiencies. So for me, so much of AI is used just to like create economy within all of my systems, right? Whatever I'm doing for a project, whatever ideas I have, I'm hashing all of them out quickly. And then my process in years past and in life past was, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to hash out my ideas, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to revise that 3, 4, 5 times, and I'm going to continue to go through that. And it's like every time I continue to go through that, I have to go back to the beginning, and then I'm on revision 2, and then I'm going all the way back to the beginning, and then I'm on revision 3. And so much of AI right now is just helping me go circle back on my entire process while not having to do 5, 6 revisions in between. Even like my midweeks, whether it's an email to clients, whether it is a process for what I need to submit for something, right? I'm hashing something quickly out on paper. And then what I would normally do is I would spend all of this time refining that and making it perfect. I can now dump that into AI and come out with a more consistent, concise, and comprehensive outline of what I need that's all based on my thoughts. So I'm not prompting AI to generate ideas for me, but more so, here are my ideas, now refine these and polish these. So it's still all of my ideas. It's just, instead of being like scrambled within my brain. Yeah, like I can just dump everything out and say, refine this, outline this, polish this, or make this like a more cohesive document for me. And then I can go through and I can do one edit on that where I'm not going back and forth. Like when I used to write midweeks, it's like I would write the midweek, I'd review it like 5, 6 times. And now it's like I can just go on, and everything that I want to talk about, I type. And then I'm like, I dump it into chat and I'm like, hey, polish this for me. Mm-hmm. And then it'll kick something out. And then I go back through and I'll only have to revise it once or twice more to make sure that everything's in line with my voice, my vision, and it's actually taking the angle that I need. So for me, that's the biggest thing right now, is just maintaining and creating more efficiencies within the back end of my business, which I think most people, that's the most difficult aspect of their business, to capture time anyway. So for a lot of people, it's like if you're bleeding time and money on that aspect of your business, it's a really good opportunity to reduce the liability there.
So I definitely want to get into the future episode, guys. If you're interested in how we utilize AI and just a larger conversation about AI in construction, comment on one of our videos and let us know. Just type in AI. I just want to see the interest around it. I'm sure it's big. But I will support what Tyler's saying. I think the single greatest use, especially for like an elementary level, for anyone can do, is exactly what Tyler said, is brain dump your thoughts and have it kind of repeat back to you. One of the, I'll call it a hack that I use, is when I get in my truck, my phone sits in my console and I just turn it on, the voice, and it will just, I just sit there and talk to it. And yesterday, someone was like, "Hey, I really would." We were talking about AI in construction. They're like, "I'd really love your thoughts on the top 4 things that you think AI could help with construction." I was like, "No problem. I'll have it to you in an hour." And I had an hour drive, or a half hour drive, and I just turned it on. I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Hey, someone needs a summary. I'd love for you to just listen to me for like 20 minutes. I'm gonna riff on this massive topic, and then clean it up and send it to me."
Yeah.
And I literally didn't stop talking for 20 full minutes. And I'm like, the fact that this is just capturing literally everything I said for 20 minutes. And then it was like, yep, got it. So here are the 4 things. I'm going to summarize it, blah, blah, blah. Printed it out. I copied it. I looked at it. Same exact thing. Made a few tweaks. It's like, that's not exactly what I was trying to get at, but here, add to it, submitted it over, done. So like the brain dump and clarifying and making stuff more concise, and also organized, like,
Yeah.
chronologically sometimes, where it's like I have all these ideas, but now put them in chronological order of like how they should be represented.
Like you said, it takes out 2, 3, 4 revisions of what's, to get what's in my head down onto paper. The dangerous part, I think, is where you start prompting it to come up with or generate ideas that aren't unique to you. So I'm typically, these are ideas that I have or conversations that I want to have that I'm going to brain dump, and then I just want them structured or formatted in a way that makes the most amount of sense, and then I can go and make sure that it maintains my voice, which is a huge help.